All right, BookTube. This is Eric. I am back with my March Mystery Madness wrap up, even though it's the middle of April. The reason I waited to the middle of April is because I wanted to finish the book I had been reading. So, I had 6 books that I was intending to read, and I got through 3.5 of them. So let's talk about, or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, I should say. First, I did read Nobody Runs Forever by Richard Stark. I talked about this in my update. This is one of the Parker novels. This is one of the last 3 Parker novels. I've got, I believe, 2 more to go. Kind of sad to see them end, but at some point, this is a series that I will, in fact, reread. These are great. Check them out if you like crime books. And I'm going to be honest, I don't remember what I picked this one for. It's probably for being on my shelf. Then I read The Case of the Thing in the Night, I believe is what it was called. The Incidents in the Night, which was a graphic novel, which I had to return to the library. And that I enjoyed. French graphic novel about a guy that's looking for a book or an anthology series. I've got dogs here begging, so forgive me if I'm interrupted. Then I read The Love, Death Thing, which is one of those 60s hippie kind of squares versus the counterculture books, which is something I'm discovering lately that I'm interested in because it's interesting to see how very establishment type people wrote about the counterculture in its time. This was pretty good. I enjoyed it enough that I will be looking for more by Thomas B. Dewey. And I love that cover. That cover's pretty classic. All right, so then the other one I just finished reading today was Angel's Flight by Lou Cameron. This is a Black Gat book. This wasn't so much a crime novel as it was a story about kind of business crime, maybe is the way to say it. It's about a guy who's a musician and about the ups and downs as he navigates the music world of the late 30s through the 40s and into the 50s. There are some things in this book that people aren't going to like, some language, some attitudes about people who are gay, about women. Let me say this, though, that while those kinds of ideas and words are spoken, the gay characters do get a certain amount of respect, the women get an amount of respect, and the minority characters do get an amount of respect from the main character. And it's really based about who they are in relation to his worldview and how he interacts with them, as opposed to them being problematic because they're women or because they're gay or because they're minorities. But I enjoyed this quite a bit. It took me a while to get into it, but I read the second half of the book in the last 2 days. If I had any criticism, it's not really plot driven. There's not a crime that happened that somebody's dealing with. This is more of a over the course of time. If you've ever read Peter Rabb's Murder Me for Nickels, this would be a good companion to that book. But recommended. Oh, and the language in this is amazing. I wish I had highlighted some passages, but just like the early 50s Hepcat language. So this book, and I should give the date, originally published 1960. So yeah, it's got some amazing patter in it. The kind of dialogue that you just want to read aloud. Great stuff. So there was that. So the one that I read half of, not even half of, I got about 100 pages. How far did I get into this? I got 60 pages into Sengoku Shark and just wasn't feeling it. It's not that it's bad. It's just I was confused when I was trying to read this. I just wasn't hooking me, so I decided that I put it aside. This is something that I'm not going to DNF, but I will go back to at some point. All right, the book I was going to read, which this was, by the way, the International, and this was maybe my historic? I don't remember. At any rate, the one I was reading for opposite is the romance mystery Sweet Jeopardy. I didn't get to it. I will get to it. This is on my to-be-read pile. Yeah, I'll get to that at some point. But moving on, I need to start something new, something a little different. And I found this a couple weeks ago, and a lot of people seemed really interested in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and read it. This is Candidate from Hell. It's a horror novel, and we'll see how that goes. So, thank you for watching. I got dogs to attend to, and I'll catch you all later.